There is a machine. It has no gears, no pistons, and no physical form. You will never see it. Yet it is the most powerful wealth creation engine ever conceived. This machine is currently valued at over $40 trillion. For perspective, that's more than the economies of China, Japan, Germany, and the UK combined. It has silently minted more ordinary millionaires than any company, any invention, or any lottery in the history of the world. And here is the greatest secret of all. This machine was designed to be simple. Yet the vast majority of people have no idea how it truly works, or that they themselves can become its master. Welcome to the Finance Fable, where we decode the secret stories behind money. Today, we are opening the blueprints to the world's financial superstar, the Standard & Poor's 500. To truly grasp the genius of this invention, we must first journey to a different time, a time before the machine. Imagine it's the 1920s. The world of investing was a treacherous jungle. It was a private club for the ultra-wealthy, a place of whispers, backroom deals, and expensive gatekeepers. Information was scarce and controlled by a select few on Wall Street. If an ordinary person, let's call him George, saved up $1,000, his options were grim. He could hand his money to a stockbroker, a slick salesman who charged enormous fees just to place a bet. The broker might suggest buying into the Pennsylvania Railroad, a titan of its time, a sure thing. So George puts all his life savings into that single stock. For a while, things look great. But then, the world changes. The Great Depression hits, or a new technology like the automobile begins to dominate. The once mighty railroad falters, its stock price plummets, and in the blink of an eye, George's entire savings are wiped out. He chose the wrong horse. His dream is gone. This was the terrifying reality for decades. Investing was a high-stakes gamble on individual companies. You were either a genius stock picker, incredibly lucky, or you were destined to lose. The very idea of betting on the entire American economy was a fantasy. How could you possibly buy a piece of everything? This wasn't just a problem for people like George. It was a problem for everyone. Economists had no reliable way to measure the true health of the market. The famous Dow Jones Industrial Average, started in 1896, was a step in the right direction. But it only tracked a handful of industrial giants, just 30 of them. It was like trying to understand the entire ocean by looking at a single wave. A bigger, clearer picture was desperately needed. The seeds of revolution were sown by a small company called the Standard Statistics Bureau. In the 1920s, they began tracking a much larger group of 233 companies. It was a start, a blurry photograph of the market. But after World War II, everything changed. America didn't just grow, it exploded. The post-war boom created a tidal wave of innovation. Suburbs, highways, televisions, and legendary consumer brands were reshaping the nation. The old ways of measuring the market were now hopelessly obsolete. The world needed a new yardstick, a new machine. By the way, stories like these are the hidden architecture of our financial world. If you want to understand the system, subscribe and join us for a new fable each week. It's the most entertaining financial education you'll ever get. The date is March 4th, 1957. A day that would change finance forever, even if nobody knew it at the time. The Standard Statistics Bureau, having merged with Poor's Publishing, made an announcement. They were launching a new, radically ambitious index. It would be calculated in real time by a powerful mainframe computer, a marvel of its age. And it would track not 30, not 233, but the 500 most dominant companies in the United States. On that day, the S&P 500 was born. So what is it really? This is where the magic lies. The S&P 500 is not a company. It has no CEO, it sells no products. It is, in essence, a recipe, a master list, an identity. Think of it as the ultimate all-star sports team for American business. A secret, anonymous committee at Standard & Poor's acts as the team manager. Their job is to make sure only the best of the best are on the field. They have strict rules. To even be considered, a company must be massive, highly valuable, and consistently profitable. And just like any elite team, players are constantly being evaluated. If a corporate giant starts to stumble, if its profits dry up, it gets cut from the team. It is relegated. Simultaneously, a hungry, innovative new company that has grown into a titan gets the call-up. It is promoted to the major leagues. This is the self-cleaning, self-improving genius of the machine. It automatically removes the failures and embraces the new winners without anyone having to make a single trade. It is designed to constantly adapt and reflect greatness. For years, this incredible invention remained a tool for the professionals. A number on a screen that Wall Street used to measure its own performance. The machine was running, but its power was locked away from the public, until a man named John Bogle came along and decided to commit heresy. In the 1970s, Bogle looked at the financial world and saw a rigged game. He saw that 80% of professional money managers, the so-called experts, failed to beat the S&P 500's performance over time. They charged their clients huge fees for the privilege of underperforming the market. Bogle had a beautifully simple and utterly radical idea. "Don't look for the needle in the haystack," he said. "Just buy the whole haystack." Why pay an expert to try, and usually fail, to pick the winning stocks, when you could simply own a tiny piece of all 500 all-stars? In 1976, he launched the world's first index fund, a fund that did nothing but blindly buy and hold every company in the S&P 500. Wall Street mocked him. They called his idea un-American and nicknamed his creation Bogle's Folly. Why? Because his invention threatened their entire business model, which was built on high fees and the myth of the genius stock picker. Bogle's fund was the key that unlocked the machine for everyone. For the first time in history, the average person, the teacher, the firefighter, the nurse, could become an owner. With a single low-cost investment, you could own a sliver of Coca-Cola, of Microsoft, of Apple, of Amazon. You were no longer George, betting his life savings on one horse. You were now the owner of the entire racetrack. You win no matter which horse comes in first. This is the secret power of the S&P 500 when combined with an index fund. It runs on the twin fuels of diversification and compound growth. By owning 500 companies, your risk is spread wide. The failure of one is balanced by the success of another. And over the long arc of history, the American economy's drive for innovation, profit, and growth has been relentless. The machine captures this relentless upward pressure. This isn't the adrenaline rush of day trading or crypto. It is the slow, patient, unstoppable force of an oak tree growing from an acorn. It is financial gravity. The S&P 500 is so much more than a ticker symbol. It is a living diary of modern capitalism. It tells the story of booms and busts, of fallen empires and rising stars. It is the silent partner in millions of retirement plans, college funds, and family legacies. It is a machine built from a powerful idea. An idea that financial success shouldn't be a privilege reserved for the connected few, but an opportunity available to all. So the next time you see that number flash across a news screen, up 10 points, down 20, remember what it truly represents. It's not just a number. It's the pulse of a $40 trillion machine, working silently, day and night. A machine that you have the key to. Thanks for joining us on the Finance Fable. If this story changed the way you see the market, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss the secrets we uncover next. We'll see you in the next Fable.